But once again, like only stupid people will take people like this seriously. Only, I swear, you are stupid. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. You are intellectually incompetent to understand anything, and you should just go somewhere and stay in a corner and don't talk to anybody. Don't engage with society in any way, shape, or form, because you are the issue of everything. I promise you. Let's have this conversation. I will explain this to you. You are the problem. Hey, thank you for watching Power to the Pod, where we are committed to an intellectual integrity and a moral honesty. I am your host, Shapiro, and once again, thank you for watching. Now, in this video, I want to discuss on why Candace Owens, of course, and Ben Shapiro, okay, it seems like they don't have enough content to make that has a lot of substance. You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm creating or trying to figure out something to talk about, I try to make sure that it's something that can, you know, be looked at and taken and be able to be utilized throughout your life in understanding, you know, whatever topic we're discussing. And I try not to just make content that is like, hey, look at this, and then that's it. I always want to try to put a message, put something of understanding that you may not have thought about or something, and then have at least some sort of takeaway from my content. But it feels like these disingenuous opportunists don't care about that. They just want to throw something up to get a reaction, and then that's it. There's no there's no conversation, there's no solution. It's just take a look at this, let's laugh, and then that's it. So it's like, are they like more of just a comedy show, or are they trying to, you know, advise people politically to make, you know, better political choice? Like, I don't know. But with the situation, Katy Perry, who was on American Idol, and, you know, there was a young man who survived a mass shooting. He was on the stage, and of course, you know, these type of shows, they always get like sad. That's just what these shows do. And then Katy Perry, you know, freaked out, and she had some things to say about gun control. And it's like, instead of trying to, okay, analyze what she's saying, see if it's true or not, and then if it is true, what solutions do you have? If it's not true, let's look at some, you know, information and try to break that down a little bit. But no, that's not what Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro wants to say. So let's go ahead and take a watch.
I don't watch any of these shows, by the way, at all anymore, because everything that you used to enjoy when you were a kid is now super woke, and it's become the woke Olympics. Woke. And my general perspective on competition shows, and I always use as a point of reference the cooking shows. You used to just be able to watch them cook and go, oh, that meal looks delicious. But now they tell you a really sad story, and you're supposed to want the person that has the saddest story to win. So you've got MasterChef, and it used to just be like, who's going to make the best steak? Now it's like someone comes up and they're like, I lost my kidney last week, and, you know, my sister was really sick. My dog died. And essentially, I guess we're supposed to just...
Okay, so, I mean, sorry to interrupt. I know what she's saying is pointless, but isn't that what all these television shows do? Because they know if they can draw people in emotionally, that's going to create viewership, and that's going to create, you know, connection with whoever they're showing on the screen to the people watching. That's what TV shows do. I don't know. Like, I guess that's a woke thing, but I don't know. Once again, just throw everything under being woke, even if it doesn't make sense. But okay, sure, I guess.
Just root for the person that has a saddest story. I don't know. To me, it seems to be a marker of the victim mentality that is pervasive in our culture today. Well, this person who tried out for American Idol actually has a very sad story. I'm not at all trying to remove him from what he experienced. And he is a person that survived the Santa Fe high school shooting. And so he's trying out, and he gets into his background story. That is not the problem. Sharing what you actually lived through is not the problem. It's Katy Perry's reaction that is the problem. Katy Perry essentially just kind of lost it. And she kind of became very unstable. And I guess this is supposed to be us learning that we should be outside demanding more laws against shooting people. Guess what? It's already illegal. That's the law we need. It's illegal.
Okay, once again, we're going to hear what she said, but is that a bad thing when we, as citizens who vote for these people who govern us, to create policies to protect us if something is obviously out of control? Is that really a bad? Is that a bad thing? I mean, once again, maybe I'm just uneducated, but I mean, isn't the sole purpose of a government is to protect from outside and inside, threats, and serve the people? I mean, like, we can get into the details and nitty gritty, but like, its sole purpose is number one sole purpose is to do those two things. And if they're failing to protect us, then we should be upset at being not protected, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just uneducated in all this.
And to mass slaughter people in high schools. But I don't know. Katy Perry is really going to make a pitch here for anti-gun legislation, I suppose, through her cheers. Take a listen to this clip from American Idol.
Lost a lot of friends. 8 students were killed. 2 teachers were killed. What you doing, Katie?
Our country has failed us.
Facts.
This is not okay. You should be singing here because you love music.
It's true.
Not because you had to go through that.
I agree.
You didn't have to lose 8 friends.
Yeah, let me tell you something. That kid has been through a lot of stuff, and let me tell you, did not expect that. He did not expect to just watch a woman come completely undone. They're all looking.
What do you mean he probably didn't expect? What do you think he's was supposed to expect when he chose to tell his story? I'm pretty sure now maybe someone forced him, but I mean, it looked like he was kind of being genuine in telling his story. Are we supposed to cheer? Are we supposed to like pretend as if we didn't hear what he said? Like, what response do you think they were supposed to give? And obviously, some people are more sensitive than others. You know what I'm saying? If you told me a sad story about, Emmett Till, I might have to try to hold in some tears because that was a sad story. But someone may not react the same way. So it's like, I don't understand her logic. Like, how she responded was just like, it's like, so? Like, maybe you would have cheered, but like, that doesn't mean everybody else has to cheer. I mean, I don't know. But once again, who am I?
Pretty uncomfortable. He's like, facts, okay. Kind of want to tell you, come completely off. And let me tell you, did not expect that. He did not expect to just watch a woman come completely undone. They're all looking pretty uncomfortable. He's like, facts, okay. Kind of want to tell you a little something about myself and something that I lived through. 8 students died. And then she just kind of grows hysterical and loses it. Actually makes his story all about her. And it just, you can't even imagine a more dramatic response. Obviously, everyone's uncomfortable. Lionel Richie looks a little uncomfortable. Luke Bryan looks a little uncomfortable. They're probably thinking.
They didn't really look uncomfortable. They looked like they were just staying out of it. Like, maybe they did say some things. We didn't see the whole clip. You don't always have to say something. They didn't look upset. They didn't look like rolling their eyes. They were just like sitting in, dang, it's sad. But to say that they looked uncomfortable is like, okay, now you're trying to add a little of projection into that. It's like maybe you felt uncomfortable, but don't throw that on other people.
Oh gosh, should we be reacting this emotionally undone? Nope, it could have been a really special moment, but of course Katy Perry made it all about her. And this is what happens when people when liberals have a moment. This is what they love, right?
Okay.
They just love a moment to suddenly go, I care so much about this issue. And this is what Katy Perry did. She has a very nice life. She's
Oh,
has
there
a
it
child with
is.
Orlando Bloom. She flies around private. She gets
There
paid
it is.
tens of millions of dollars, but she wants people to know.
Okay, so I've been noticing a trend, and we're gonna watch Ben Shapiro. But a lot of what these opportunists, like, obviously they work for the same company, so they have these communications with each other, and they all kind of say the same thing. Katy Perry is wealthy. She flies, private jets. She's married to another wealthy person. Has no troubles. Have no anything to complain about. So why is she complaining? But it's like, if you reach a certain threshold of income, you're not allowed to express something that is obviously concerning to like all Americans. Like, are we saying that free speech is taken away or should be suppressed once you reach a certain amount of money? Like, what is she trying to say? Like, I don't know. That's just weird to me. But I guess they're supposed to be the party of free speech and say whatever you want and then just kind of let things roll from there. But she's saying, well, what is she complaining about? She flies privately. Like, but what does that have to do with her having the ability to connect with somebody on a emotional level, to empathize and sympathize with people? If she has that ability, but you don't, then why are you complaining? You're complaining about her complaining about something. I don't know. Once again, I think they just run out of content to talk about, because at the end of the day, you're complaining about somebody else complaining about something. I don't know. Maybe there's other substantive things that we can actually have a conversation about. But no, let's talk about Katy Perry, huh?
So our chattering classes are now sounding off about gun control again. It is wonderful. And it is, of course, via all the mechanisms of our popular media. Katy Perry, who's a person who sings for a living, I think, right? And so she was on American Idol, and there was a mass shooting survivor who auditioned on American Idol. And this caused Katy Perry, a person who is wildly famous and wildly wealthy, to talk about how...
Wildly famous and wildly wealthy. Like... So, okay, do you want to give her height? Do you want to give her weight? Do you want to give where she lives? What type of private jet she flies? How many kids does she have? Like, what's her zodiac sign? Like, what does this information have to do with the content of what she's talking about? But once again, like, identity politics, right? Like, Republicans always crying about liberals utilizing and weaponizing identity politics, and he literally just did that. She's very rich, she's very wealthy, and she's very famous. Like, so, like, I don't know. Jeez, man.
America is failing people because mass shootings take place in the United States on ABC.
Lost a lot of friends.
So we don't need to watch this again.
So I'm just going to point out this is American Idol, is it not? So yes, we all don't like mass shootings, but our country has effing failed us. And
okay, we all don't like mass shootings, so like, who cares? Like, I promise you, I never suggest violence, but I swear he has the most punchable face, especially when he makes smart, dumb remarks like that. Like, everybody hates mass shootings, so like, what? Like, bro, like, promise you, if there's no cameras around and nobody's around, I will feel the urge to, you know what? Okay, let's
Katy
just
Perry
keep
was worth $330 million.
Oh my God! Like,
weeping openly because our country.
She's too rich to like really complain about anything. Like, oh my God! Like, she has. Ben, how much money do you have? That is the real question. How much money is Ben making? How much money is Candace Owens making? I mean, we know with the agreements and fallout they had with the other opportunists, whatever his name is, he had an opportunity to make about what, 40, $50 million in 4 years. So are you guys not rich enough to not complain about this stuff? No, I think you're rich enough to not complain about somebody complaining who's also wealthy. But once again, like only stupid people will take people like this seriously. Only, I swear, you are stupid. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. You are intellectually incompetent to understand anything. And you should just go somewhere and stay in a corner and don't talk to anybody. Don't engage with society in any way, shape, or form, because you are the issue of everything. I promise you. Let's have this conversation. I will explain this to you. You are the problem. That's as simple as I could put it. Like, you are. Go stay under a rock.
Failed us. There's a baseline notion in the United States that has somehow taken root in a huge number of Americans. That any bad thing that happens in life, terrible things, people who are evil, doing evil, insane things, like a mass shooting of children, for example, that these things are things where if they happen, the country has failed us. That the government has failed us in some way.
If it happens once, you might have an argument. If it happens twice, okay. Twice is a little too many. Like, that might be like 15, 20 kids. If it happens 3 times, okay, can we at least have a open conversation about it? But if it happens 200 something times in the past, 5, 10 years, like, isn't that a problem? Isn't that something we might have to address and actually bring solutions and fulfill those solutions so maybe it cannot progress? Like, I don't, come on, Ben, I promise you, I don't want to say anything wrong to get me demonetized, but man, your face is making it hard. It's really making it tough.
The system has failed us in some way, right? Questions that used to be directed at God and had no answers. Why do bad things happen to good people? They're now directed at the ultimate power in the universe, which is not God. It is government. And so the idea is the system as a whole has failed us. Listen, I think we can all feel as emotionally strongly as Katy Perry does about when evil things happen, being horrified by them. But the channeling of that into the country has effing failed us, the country has effing failed all of us, is a little much. Again, coming from like the same system of freedoms that exists in the United States that allows for Katy Perry to be Katy Perry.
What freedoms, when it comes to gun control, how has that freedom allowed Katy Perry to sing? I mean, I know what he's trying to say. I know what he's trying to conflate. Like, you can't just say all the freedoms that allow Katy Perry to be, wealthy by singing. Like, if we handle gun control, how is she not going to have the freedom to sing and make money off? Ben, why am I wasting time arguing stupid statements like that?
That system is not capable, and no system really is, as it turns out, of preventing all evil in the universe. There's this sort of utopian view. I've talked about this before, the sort of compared to what syndrome. And people on the left politically, they never do the compared to what syndrome. They never say compared to, well, what other system other than the United States is preferable? And if you want to say it, just say it. If Katy Perry literally wants to call for...
Okay, I'm going to say it. Switzerland. Switzerland. Look it up. Switzerland. Jesus Christ.
Confiscation of literally all guns in the United States, which is what she presumably wants.
No.
Then just do it. But what is highly irritating is this not the emotional response. The emotional response that leads to a notion that you should be able to blame the entire system without any reference to a solution. The entire system is to blame.
No solution. Okay.
You see this on the left very frequently. Bernie Sanders is very fond of this. Every Bernie Sanders tweet is along these lines. Why is it fair that there are so many people who have so much and some people have so few? Why is that so fair? No system should allow this. No system should allow this? Okay, provide me with your alternative.
Okay, one that was kind of a funny impression. Like, he kind of sound, like Bernie Sanders. And that was kind of funny. So
it's better.
Okay.
Oh, your alternative doesn't work here. oh, your alternative is a bad idea. That doesn't matter. Your alternative is constrained by reality. That doesn't matter. The constraints of reality no longer matter.
Mm-hmm.
They never quite say what they want when it comes to gun control.
I couldn't wait for him to get to that. Okay, so check this out. So like I said, look up Switzerland. The show with Trevor Noah, the Daily, I forget. The show with Trevor Noah. And it's kind of sad that a comedic channel, comedians have to be the ones to put this sort of information out, because I looked and I couldn't really find anything that was talking and just giving me solutions when I was doing and then I watched their video and they had all the information right there. Switzerland is doing a beautiful job with maintaining the rights to have a gun, while also at the same time not having mass shootings. Every other, every day, if you compare the numbers in America to the past 5-10 years, is like having a mass shooting once a day. Switzerland, the last time I checked, if my numbers is right, was back in 1996, and only 13 people died. And I'm not saying just only as if that's just not enough, but I mean, you would think the way that they swooped in with gun control and gun reform, you would think hundreds of people died. It just took 13 people for them to be like, you know what? We solving this. We ain't playing around with this. We're not going to continue to let something like this happen. And I don't want to say they solved it, but I mean, less than 1% compared to America's numbers. Okay, so Ben wants solution. He wants actual ideas and go from there. So Ben, come on. Okay, I need you to listen. Ben, I need you to listen. Okay, stop talking. Listen, okay? This is what Joe Biden and his bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Okay, this is what he's offering. Mental health programs. Let's go for it. Okay. If it's going to be funded by the government, cool. Everybody should have some sort of mental health check, and that information needs to be set aside. So if this person who is not mentally capable of buying and owning and operating a AR-15 shouldn't be able to get one. We should have that information available to, gun systems. People who check background checks should be able to access this sort of information. I mean, okay, maybe that's too simple. Securing schools. I mean, sure. I mean, with Uvalde, that kind of failed with whoever's on premise. Police officers were too cowardly to actually engage with the shooter. I don't want to turn public schools into war zones and prisons where we have bars and all these securities and snipers. And it's okay, maybe, I don't know. The government doesn't want to properly fund schools when it comes to educating. So I highly doubt they would fund schools to keep them protected. I mean, maybe that's a little too much. Stricter background checks under 21. Maybe this should have been done years ago, a long ass time ago. I don't know. Maybe once again, too simple. Closed boyfriend loophole. Once again, this should have been taken care of a long time. I don't know. This is just weird to me. But here's some of it seems too simple to be true, as if this really helped. But if this is what Switzerland has done, and even more in a progressive way, we need to copy that. I know that's weird for Americans to see, we're the greatest country. Maybe we need to kind of take the back seat, see what other countries is doing. If it's successful, and then maybe it's okay to copy. I'm not going to say you're a copycat. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to make fun of you if it works. Background checks, of course. send written requests to authorities. Sure, I don't have nothing to hide. If the police officers know that I own a weapon, maybe that will stop them from, just shooting me because they think my cell phone is a gun. Like, maybe that information might deter people from buying a gun to commit a crime, a mass shooting, if they know the police know you just bought this AR-15 with, 20 magazines and an extender. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that might deter. I don't know. 2-week waiting period. Yeah. When I bought my handgun, I just had to wait like 2 hours. Maybe that was a little too quick. I don't mind waiting 2 weeks. Okay, sure. Justification for ownership. Maybe that makes sense. Like, it's not that many hunters in America to justify how many weapons is freely just floating around. Like, not everybody's a hunter. I mean, maybe they're hunting people. Okay. Keep ammo separate. Maybe that's kind of gun ownership common sense. Have clean record. One of the guys who was in Switzerland talking about this, and the guy was like, well, even if you stolen a car, should that prevent you from buying a gun? And the guy said a really simple answer. Well, if you can't obey simple laws like that, well, maybe you shouldn't be owning a gun. I mean, owning a gun is, like a major responsibility. And if you show that you can't maintain basic laws as a citizen, maybe you shouldn't own an AR. Okay, I need to stop yelling. Okay, I'm working on that. Gun education, obviously, that should be probably mandatory, like a day class. I don't know. Proper training, sure. Respect guns, yes. Unloaded when not in use. I mean, that sounds like another common sense gun control or a gun ownership's, common sense kicking in, But once again, Ben, there is your answers. There is some potential solutions. Now, will it solve it? Will it, completely solve every single mass shooting in America? No. It's over 300 million people in America. It's not it's not going to 100% solve a solution, but at least it's doing something instead of just sitting behind your desk with your blazer and you're just talking like, we just gotta just let things just happen because, this is America and we all love our, like, instead of just complaining about people complaining, try something. What is your solutions? Because I watched your video. You don't offer no solutions. So there you go. The ball's in your court. What you got to say? I guarantee he ain't going to come up with no solutions because he's going to get fired. If he proposes anything that goes against the NRA and the sales of guns, he's going to lose his job. Or he's going to come up with some lukewarm, watered down, like, like maybe we should, hire, train Marines at schools or something, or give every teacher an AR-15, like, I don't know, something stupid like that, because they never have anything of substance to offer people. They're just opportunists. They don't have any credible knowledge or wisdom to give to people. They just talk too much to stupid people who will listen. So once again, if I'm wrong, get in the comments and let's have this conversation, and I will put you on game. I ain't scared. Let's have that conversation.
Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join the conversation by subscribing. Make sure to tune in next time, and like always, power to you, power to me, power to the people, power to the pod.